Welcome to this walkthrough guide on how to use field codes in Microsoft Word. Here's something that is going to completely change how you think about Microsoft Word. Buried inside the software, available on every single version and never shown in any beginner tutorial, is an entire hidden programming layer. A system of dynamic, intelligent fields that can generate QR codes from scratch, insert dates that update themselves automatically, populate an entire document from a single source of truth, and build professional, clickable templates that make filling in forms feel effortless. This feature is called field codes, and I'm going to wager that the vast majority of Word users have been opening this software for years, maybe even decades, and have never even once stumbled across it. So, let's get into it. Before we jump in, there's one critical concept to understand, and it's also the reason most people never find any of this. Field codes use a special type of curly brace, and you can't type them from the keyboard. The open and closed curly brace keys on your keyboard produce plain text characters that Word just simply ignores. To get the special shaded braces that Word actually recognizes as a field, you need to press Ctrl plus F9 or Command plus F9 on macOS. That shortcut inserts a grey shaded pair of braces, and whatever you type inside them becomes an instruction that Word evaluates and renders. There are 3 other shortcuts that you'll use constantly throughout this video, so let's get them locked in now. F9. So with your cursor inside a field, this simply updates or refreshes it. Change the code, press F9. Word will then reevaluate. Alt plus F9. This is the toggle. You press it once and every field in your document reveals its underlying code. Press it again and everything snaps back to normal. If you ever accidentally hit this and your document suddenly fills with strange-looking code, don't panic, just hit Alt F9 again and you'll be back to where you were. And then finally, Ctrl Shift F9. This is the unlink command. This permanently converts a field into plain static text. The dynamic behavior is gone. I'm going to flag when you'll actually want to use this as we go through this video. So, let's start with one that genuinely blew my mind when I first discovered it. Word has a native built-in QR code generator. No add-ins needed, no plugins, no third-party website required. It is baked directly into the software on every Windows version of Word from 2016 onwards. It's called DISPLAYBARCODE. Now here's the basic syntax for it. Ctrl F9 for the field braces, and then type DISPLAYBARCODE, then your URL inside some quotes, and then QR. Press F9 to render it, and there it is, a proper scannable QR code sitting directly in my Word document. Feel free to pause here, grab your phone and scan it. And yes, it will take you straight to my YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe while you're there. Now, there are 2 other switches that I always like to add to make this QR code production ready. First is \Q3. This sets the error correction level to maximum, meaning the QR code will still scan correctly even if part of it is dirty, scratched, or printed slightly poorly. In any real-world situation, such as flyers, business cards, or event handouts, you always want to use \Q3. Second is \S for scale. By default, the QR code comes out fairly small. \S300 gives you 3 times the default size. So my go-to production format is DISPLAYBARCODE, your URL in quotes, and then QR \Q3 \S300. But here's where it gets a little bit clever. The content inside those quotes does not have to be a URL. QR codes can encode any text, and certain text formats can trigger smart behavior on mobile phones. The most useful here is going to probably be the Wi-Fi format. You structure the text as Wi-Fi:*T WPA, S, your network name, P, your password, and then 2 semicolons to close. We put all of that inside a display barcode field, and you get a QR code that, when scanned on a modern iPhone or Android, will automatically offer to join that network. No need to share the password with them directly. This is great for cafes, offices, event spaces, anywhere where you have guests needing Wi-Fi. And one important caveat here though, as I mentioned, Display Barcode is Windows only. It does not work in Word for Mac. Apologies. However, everything else that we're going to cover today works on both platforms. Now, this next one's less flashy than QR codes, but it's probably the one that you'll use the most in real working life. Here's the problem it solves. Say you're building out a letter template. You type in today's date at the top, you save it, and then next week a colleague grabs that template and sends a letter, and you notice it has last week's date on it. Or worse, you do it yourself. The date field here eliminates this completely. It inserts a live date that pulls from the computer's clock. Every time you open the document or print it, it shows today's date. So we simply do Ctrl F9, type date, and then press F9. There's today's date in the default system format. However, we can control the format, and we use @ date picture switch. There's a few key codes here that you want to know. For the day, lowercase d gives you no leading 0. A double D gives you a leading 0, and 4 Ds gives you the full day name, such as Monday, Tuesday, and so on. For the month, and this is a big gotcha, always use uppercase M. 1 uppercase M for the number, 3 uppercase M's for the short name like APR for April, and 4 uppercase M's for the full name such as April. Lowercase m means minutes, so if you type the date format as day/lowercase mm/year, thinking that that's day, month, year, you'll actually get day, minutes, year. So uppercase M always. For the year, 2 Ys is for a 2-digit year and 4 Ys for 4 digits. My preferred format for a professional letter is date, then \@, then in quotes, lowercase d, 4 uppercase M's, and 4 lowercase y's. As you can see, that gives you 4 April 2026. Clean and unambiguous. Now, here's something critical to understand. If you insert a date field in a letter and send it, when the recipient opens it, the date will show their today date, not yours. For a one-off letter that you're sending, that's a bug, not a feature. And the fix? After inserting the date field, press that Ctrl-Shift-F9 shortcut that I mentioned earlier to unlink it. The field becomes plain static text, permanently frozen to the date that you wrote it. For templates you keep and open fresh each time, you want to leave that field live. For documents that you're sending out, maybe unlink it before sending. Now, 2 related fields worth knowing here as well. There is also CREATEDATE that records when the document was first created and never changes. This is brilliant for contracts where you want the execution date locked in. And SAVEDATE shows the last time the document was saved. This is useful in a footer as an automatic last updated timestamp. Now, the last feature that we're covering in deep today is MACROBUTTON. And despite the name, this has nothing to do with macros. So you don't need to know VBA, and you don't need to enable any developer tab. You don't need to write any code. The name is really just a holdover from how the field worked in older versions of Word. What MACROBUTTON does is create clickable placeholder text. So when someone using your template clicks on it, the entire placeholder selects as a single unit, and they can just start typing to replace it. It's the cleanest, most intuitive fill-in-the-blank experience that you can build in Word without any add-ins. So we go Ctrl F9, then type MACROBUTTON, no macro, then your placeholder text in square brackets. Press F9 to render it, and it appears as highlighted placeholder text. Click it once and you'll see that the entire thing is selected. Start typing and it's instantly replaced. No macro is a dummy instruction that we use to tell Word that there's no macro needed to be run. Everything after that space is your display text. The square brackets here are more of just a visual convention. They're not really required, but they make it obvious to users that this is a placeholder. And here's where this becomes genuinely elegant. Combine it with the fields from the previous parts of this video, and you can have a properly professional template. The top of the letter has a create date field, so the date is automatically recorded when the document is first saved, and then the greeting, Dear, followed by a macro button placeholder for the recipient's name. Then a reference line with another macro button for the matter description. There's also potentially a DOCPROPERTY field in the header pulling the company name from the document's metadata. I'll talk to you about that one in just a moment. The variable parts are clearly marked clickable placeholders. One pass through the document, clicking and typing, and the letter is done. Compare that to a standard template where you're doing find and replace or hunting for bracketed placeholders. The difference in feel is dramatic. Now, one note, once a user types over a macro button placeholder, it is gone. There is no reset. So always keep the master template file as a pristine template and do a save as before filling in any specific letter. Now, we've done deep dives on a few field codes already today, but I want to be upfront. There are dozens more built into Word. Here's a rapid fire look at some of the ones that are worth having on your radar. DOCPROPERTY. Every Word document has hidden metadata properties attached to it, such as title, author, company name, subject, and more. DOCPROPERTY lets you pull any of those values directly into the body of your document. So if you set the company property once in File, Advanced Properties, and then drop a DOCPROPERTY field wherever that name needs to appear, and when you start a new matter, you change that in one single place. Then simply do Ctrl-A and F9, and every instance throughout the document will be updated simultaneously. If you regularly build out professional templates, this one is worth a deep dive on your own. Then we have SEQ, Sequential Auto Numbering. Place an SEQ figure field next to every figure caption and Word will number them 1, 2, 3 in order. If you insert a new figure in the middle, all of the numbers will update automatically. The same applies here for tables, exhibits, and equations. STYLEREF. Put this in a page header and it will automatically reflect the most recent section heading on that page. As you scroll through a long document, the header can dynamically update. Professional document designers absolutely love that one. Then we have FILENAME with a \P switch. This shows the full file path of the document. Legal and compliance teams put this one in footers so that every printed page can be traced back to its source on the network. And finally, merge barcode, the mail merge equivalent of display barcode. If you want a unique QR code per attendee for a batch of event badges, well, use merge barcode with a merge field instead of a hard-coded URL. All of the same switches that we went through earlier still apply here. And there are plenty more beyond these. Microsoft's full field code reference is linked in the description and it is well and truly worth bookmarking. You'll keep finding things that make you think, oh man, I wish I'd known about this years ago. And that is Word's hidden field code layer. We've covered a few in depth today. QR codes with display barcode, auto-updating dates with date and create date, and professional template placeholders with macro button. Plus, a bit of a rapid fire look at DOCPROPERTY, SEC, STYLEREF, and more. The quick reference that you'll want to keep handy is that Ctrl-F9 is used to insert the field braces, type in your field code, and then press F9 to render it. And don't forget Alt-F9 to toggle the code view on and off, and finally Ctrl-Shift-F9 to freeze a field as plain text. As I mentioned, Microsoft's full field code reference is in the description. It is definitely worth a browse. And let me know in the comments which field code surprised you the most, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to check out the channel. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.